Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. If you guys do want to see more videos like this throughout the remainder of the season, let me know, but it is a round one mock draft for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's call it like mid-season, I guess, so to speak. And right now as it stands, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, according to ESPN, are projected to have the 10th overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. They have a 44.8% chance to earn a top 10 pick according to ESPN. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. I want to say this right now. I've said this in previous videos. I feel like if the season ended today, Todd Bowles would not be the head coach of the Buccaneers. I do want to say that. So based on that assumption that I am making, where do I feel like the Buccaneers are going to be going with this number 10 overall pick? If they had to pick today with the 10th overall pick, where would they go? Well, I would have them selecting Bo Nix, quarterback out of Oregon, with the 10th overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. I know what people are going to say is, James, what are you talking about? You have been defending Baker Mayfield so much this year. You think he's been playing well. You think he could possibly be the guy for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why do you say this? Well, number one, just because I think the Buccaneers should keep Baker Mayfield and that he could possibly be the guy for this team does not mean that the organization thinks that Baker Mayfield could be the guy for this team and that they would want to keep him moving forward. Number two, I wanted to preface at the start of the video that I don't think Todd Bowles would be the head coach of this team if the season ended today. I think that if you are bringing in a new head coach and you are bringing in a new coaching staff, it is a lot tougher of a sell that Baker Mayfield would be the guy moving forward. Whenever you look at new coaching staffs, especially if the Buccaneers were to bring in an offensive guy, which I think they probably would, they would want their own quarterback. And in free agency, the pickings are pretty slim. Let's say you may look to the NFL draft. Bo Nix is a guy that would be there. Bo Nix is a guy that I think would be considered. And I know there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. I personally, if Caleb Williams does enter the NFL draft, I don't think he'd be there at pick 10. I don't think Drake May would be there at pick 10. A lot of people like Michael Penix, depending on how the rest of this just season and off season and everything goes, would Michael Penix even be there at pick 10? I don't know. Maybe even Bo Nix wouldn't be there at pick 10. But I'm going to go ahead and just take an assumption here and say that he possibly would be, especially whenever you look at the other teams that are picking ahead of them. The Las Vegas Raiders, they would probably take a quarterback. The Titans probably wouldn't take a quarterback. They have Will Levis. The Jets would not take a quarterback. The Bears, I imagine, wouldn't be taking a quarterback. I could see the Commanders doing it. I could maybe see the Giants doing it. I definitely see the Patriots doing it. Cardinals, again, that's a maybe. Point being, though, is that there's a lot of quarterbacks that could go here in the top 10. I just have the Buccaneers taking Bo Nix in this one. I like Bo Nix, and I think that he is a quarterback that could be a very good prospect for the Bucs to be interested in. 6'3", 214 pounds, folks. I watched a few Oregon games this year, and I came away very impressed with what Bo Nix has been able to do. Firstly, you look at the completion percentage. That's disgusting. 71.9 completion percentage in 2022, 78.6 completion percentage in 2023. Holy crap. 3,593 yards in 2022 passing, 3,906 passing yards in 2023. I'm looking at his Oregon time because that's where he obviously made a name for himself. 29 passing touchdowns to 7 interceptions in 22, 37 passing touchdowns to 2 interceptions in 23. Bo Nix has got that dog in him, in my opinion. He's a guy that can make all the different types of throws that you want a professional NFL caliber quarterback to make. He's a guy that can very much have a high completion percentage of passes, as you can very much see in there. And he's a guy that has a good arm and can be a good QB. Another thing I like about Bo Nix is if we go down here is his running ability. Now, he didn't run a lot in 2023. He had 159 yards, still 6 rushing touchdowns, which is nuts. 2022 showcased, I think, the height of Bo Nix's ability as a runner. 14 rushing touchdowns, 510 rushing yards. He also had 1 receiving touchdown. That's crazy. And I think that showcases, obviously, with modern NFL day quarterbacks, a lot of these guys are very much mobile types of guys. They have the athleticism that you want in a modern day quarterback. Bo Nix is most definitely a quarterback that can get the job done in that type of situation. He can be versatile. You can put him in a lot of different offenses and I think see a lot of different success. Bo Nix is a quarterback that I think you could certainly build around. Another thing that I think is very beneficial or could be beneficial if you were to bring in a guy like Bo Nix is the leadership quality. Again, I listened to a lot of post-game press conferences or post-game interviews with Bo Nix. I saw him as a leader on the sidelines for Oregon games. Saw him as a leader just on the field in Oregon games, and I've come away very impressed with the young man's ability to lead a team, to be able to raise the game of players around him and lead an organization like Oregon to have a very good amount of success the past 2 years. You take a look at 2022 Oregon, they were 10-3. This year they're 11-1. Like, Oregon has been a very, very solid football school the past 2 years. One of the biggest reasons for that, I feel like, is the overall play, the overall ability, the overall leadership of a guy like Bo Nix. I think that, and obviously, I will say this by saying we don't know what the heck's going to happen this offseason with the Bucs. They could go so many different directions, but if you do keep Mike Evans, if you do have Chris Godwin around, if you do address the interior offensive line by getting a couple of new pieces in there, if you maybe add another running back, if you maybe add another tight end, I'm not even saying starters, just backups, complementary guys, that is a supporting cast to where I think Bo Nix could have success right away in the NFL. Is it to say that he's going to be the next CJ Stroud? I don't know about all that, but I do think he could put up a potentially solid first season with the Bucs if you do want to build around him, if you do want to have some level of success with him, and you do just have the right pieces in place, right? So this is me taking a look at it and saying, look, do I personally think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or I personally think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should keep Baker Mayfield. I think that he's played well enough this year to be considered the guy, but that's not going to be 100% the realistic scenario of what could happen. I think if Todd Bowles isn't around, I think that the Bucs may go in a different direction at quarterback. I think that that definitely adds to that scenario. You get a new head coach in, an offensive-minded guy who wants to get his own quarterback. I think Bo Nix could be that guy that the Buccaneers may want to build around. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of quarterback chatter that we're going to be talking about here in the future. Unless a couple of things happen, unless they sign Baker Mayfield to a long-term deal, something along those lines, then we're going to be talking about quarterback speculations. So, I kind of wanted to make a video like this today to kind of dip my toes in the water, so to speak. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Your thought about Bo Nix. Do you want to see more videos like this just throughout the remainder of the season? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, folks, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.